something, been slightly successful, I guess. So, now we know how to deal with Prashna charts. Okay. I will do one more test case and then we will get along with another aspect of Prashna altogether. Something more advanced. We'll be using some more very advanced methods. Okay. I have got Prashnas even for internet problems and things like that. India, India, we have all such things. So we can go further down. Are you aware of how to find out the birth chart from a Prashna, how to rectify?
No.
That's a very
important topic.
Right. Okay.
And the other one, birth of children, Prashna birth of children would be very good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Let's open Krishna Janma Prashna. Now, none of us, now there has been lots of arguments about what is the correct birth date for Sri Krishna. So, we made a Krishna Janma Prashna. What happened?
Okay, never mind. Let's go on.
You have heard this how many times? 4 times. So, Vishti, you are going to give all the answers to us. Vishti, you will have to do this for us. Come on, step by step. Okay. Number 1. What is the first step in chart? You make a Prashna for the horoscope of somebody. Okay? And the most important criteria in that Prashna chart is the Navamsha Lagna will give the Lagna of the person. So let's see the Navamsha Lagna of this chart. What is the Navamsha Lagna? Now the Lagna of the person about whom the Prashna is being made has to be the Navamsha Lagna or its trines or the sign occupied by its lord, whichever is the strongest. The Navamsha Lagna or its trines or the sign occupied by its lord. The or must be used very rarely. Normally is the Navamsha Lagna or its trines. Sometimes 7th house also. Very rare. Very rare. So, what is the Navamsha Lagna rising? You think the horoscope of Sri Krishna, many standard literature say that the horoscope of Sri Krishna is Taurus Lagna. This confirms it. So it's okay. So the first indication we got was that the ascendant can be Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn. Most likely one of these 3 are the signs. Okay, step 2. Come on, what is step 2?
Well, honestly, I had to start to figure out which year the person was born.
First the Lagna. Okay, then, so write down somewhere, Krishna's Lagna was, how did you find out the Lagna? Navamsha Lagna or trines, write it down please, step by step. You are not getting a handout for this. Yeah, I am not going to give you a handout for this, no way. You will have to write it down because that's where you are going to remember it.
No, they can buy the CDs and listen to them.
Yeah, that's the way out, correct. Okay, second, which year was he born? Okay, Vishti, which year, how will you find out?
We'll look at the Dwada Samsa.
Let's see the Dwadashamsha.
Reason being that we would be looking for the sign in which Jupiter was placed in at the time he was born.
Right.
And that will define the year.
All right. So here Jupiter is in which sign?
Jupiter is in Capricorn.
Right.
The method used is you count.
Oh, he's got a mic now. That's it. Vishti, you are in the elements. That's it. Look, I can see you smile. Yeah.
Is it on? Does it work? Hello?
So you pretend.
It works now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, the next step was to find the year. To do so, we'd count from Jupiter's placement in the Rasi chart to Jupiter's placement in the Dwada Samsa chart. In this case, Jupiter's in Gemini in the Rasi chart, and we have to count from Gemini to Capricorn, which is its placement in the Dwada Samsa, and the same distance therefrom. So, counting from Gemini to Capricorn, we get 8 signs. We have to count 8 signs from Capricorn as well. This would be Leo. So, Jupiter can be in Leo, or, now here comes the rider. It can Also be in the signs next to it, Virgo or Cancer as well. That's the
So
principle.
you get 3 signs. A possibility of 3 signs. Okay? Now, open up another Jehora. And let's just open Krishna's chart. The tentative chart that we have made.
Is it in here?
Right. And we find Jupiter in Virgo. You think this fits?
Mm-hmm. All the rules so far, yeah.
All the rules so far are fitting. You find that Lagna rising is Taurus. And you find the Jupiter is in Virgo. So far it is fitting. Okay. Let's go. Next step.
Next step.
So first thing was what? You found out the Lagna. Second step, Jupiter's placement. To tentative year confirmation. Okay, then?
Next step, since we found the year, we have to find out which half of the year the person was born in.
Right.
Ayana, yes. Now the ayanas are divided from the to the end of Sagittarius, and from the beginning of Capricorn to the end of Gemini.
Right.
Now, the southern course is that which it coincides with the signs from Cancer to Sagittarius, and the rest would be the northern course, of course. Now, if you remember before, the southern course was ruled by the sun, and the northern course is ruled by the moon.
So do we have any division? Have you heard of a division which is ruled either by the sun or the moon? What is it? Simple. Very simple. So look at the Hora of the Lagna, right?
Yes.
So look up the Lagna. Is it in the sun's Hora or in the moon's Hora? Are you sure it's in the moon's Hora? How many get sun? Nobody. Very good. So we can go ahead.
Okay. So that would mean that the sun at the time of his birth should be in the signs from Capricorn to Gemini.
Why?
According to this.
Why?
This would be the moon's ayana.
Right.
Yes, according to this.
Do you get the point? Did you get what he's trying to say? We are trying to find out which half of the year he would be born in. Now, keep in mind that we'll be doing this in 2 steps to find out the sun sign. So, we will be taking 3 steps actually to find out exactly where the sun will be at the time of birth. What is the month? This is done in 3 steps. The first step is to determine the course, northern course or the southern course. The second step is to find out the season. Then we see season and this matching. It can happen, you know. Let's say we say spring and we say spring in the southern course. Spring doesn't occur in the southern course. Spring occurs when in the northern course of the sun, right? When does spring occur?
When sun is in Pisces Aries,
Yeah,
that season.
right. Why? Why does spring occur? I mean, why are you all looking at me like this? Don't you know what is spring? When does it occur?
We're in the southern hemisphere. Spring is.
We'll talk about southern hemisphere later. I just want to know. I can't use southern hemisphere in the northern thing. I'll have to reverse the rules for that. Whatever rules we are talking now in the southern hemisphere, they have to be reversed. Make a note of that also. Please make a note of that, because in the southern hemisphere everything is exactly opposite. Okay, so the question here, but if you are living in the northern hemisphere, you don't have to bother about that. The question is, northern course, which are the seasons that come in that? Are you aware of seasons? Can you throw up a picture?
Yeah, but where is it? Your picture. Not here.
No.
Your D drive?
No, they have done something with it. Forget it. We are not going to search for it now.
Okay.
My computer crashed, so it is.
You can draw it.
Hmm?
You can draw it.
The board behind you.
Yeah. No, it'll take time. They must imagine it. Let's see. Are you aware of the season? Okay, when is spring? Which signs indicate the month season spring? March, round about March, right? When the flowers bloom. So where is the sun at that point of time? It's in Pisces where the Venus gets exalted. When the flowers bloom, the lovers sing songs. Is it not? The birds sing and they dance around. It's love and joy all over the place. Haven't you seen it in movies and everything? That's springtime. That's the sun in Pisces and in Aries. You see, when the sun is in Pisces, there's a lot of Venus over there. When it is in Aries, there's a lot of ego. So that happens to all relationships also. First there's Venus and then there is the sun. Okay, so that's the season called spring. Then after spring, what do we have? Summer. Okay, summer is Taurus and Gemini. Then after that, we call it the rains. Rains is Cancer and Leo. Please get the seasons right. Please get the seasons right, otherwise we will not be able to progress. Spring is Pisces and Aries. After that, we have summer, which is Taurus and Gemini. Then we have the rains, Cancer and Leo. Then we have what is known as the harvest or autumn, which is Virgo and Libra. Virgo and Libra, you know, it has to do with all the harvesting and selling of the grains. That's why Libra is the market. Why is Libra market? Because that's where you're selling the grains in Libra. Then after that, we have Scorpio and Sagittarius. After selling the grains, you're talking of storage and things like that, savings, paying off your debts, Scorpio. And then Sagittarius, saving for the winter, preparing for the winter. That is Hemanta. It is considered a very nice season, ruled by Jupiter. Scorpio and Sagittarius, that season called Hemanta is ruled by Jupiter. Hemanta. It is post-autumn, you can call it. What do you call it? Is there a season really like that? Fall. Autumn. So let's just call it Hemanta. That's all. Then after that, Shishira or the cold season, Capricorn and Aquarius. It's easy to remember that. Cold, Saturn. Capricorn and Aquarius is the cold, it's winter, ruled by Saturn. And then after the cold comes spring. Spring is ruled by Mars. Who said Mars? Venus, yeah. Whoever said that must have Mars in 7th. Okay. So now summer is ruled by Mars. There's a lot of heat over there. So which is summer? Taurus and Gemini, which is ruled by Mars. Taurus and Gemini is ruled by Mars. Taurus and Gemini is ruled by Mars. Yeah, come on. This is the first thing you should have learned. You're coming for such an advanced class. You should be knowing all these things. This should be all in the back of your hand. Okay. And then the rains is, of course, ruled by the moon. Yesterday, a lady introduced me to her daughter. A lady in this class introduced me to her daughter, and we were talking about how Jupiter is exalted in the chart and all. I was feeling so nice. Then the girl walks up and she's all wet, full of water from the top to bottom. She's just walked out of the swimming pool. What was the first thing that came to my mind? The moon. So whenever I see a chart or whenever what I'll do, I'll keep that in my mind. The moon. Look for the moon. Harvest. Who do you think is very bothered about harvesting and grains and keeping the money and counting the money? Mercury. That's Mercury. Okay? Yeah, Aries and Pisces is. I told that first, but I thought you would have missed it. Where's your Venus in your chart? 6th house? Yeah, I knew you would miss that. Venus rules it. It's called spring. What is spring? Vasant. The flowers bloom. Okay? Am I clearly understood about the seasons? So we have 6 planets ruling the 6 seasons. Okay? So now if there is a mismatch between the seasons and the planets and the northern course or the southern course, then we choose the season which is match. We have a system of matching. We'll do that. Okay. First the hora. Which hora did we get over here in the Prashna? Moon's hora. So the moon will indicate the northern course, right? So that means he would have been born when the sun is during its northern course or passing from Capricorn to Gemini. The northern course towards Cancer, seeking Cancer. The northern course is seeking Cancer. Are you aware of the northern course and the southern course and why it is so? The sun is seeking the Tropic of Cancer, and then after that it is seeking the Tropic of Capricorn. Then seeking, it's a latitudinal movement of the sun.
Its maximum latitude is 23 north and 23 south.
That is the Tropic of Cancer. That is why it is called the sign Cancer. Right. Simple. Everybody knows that. Okay. So now next step. Ritu.
Yeah. First, to find the season or the Ritu, you have to look at the Lagna in the chart, the Rasi. If there are any planets there, they are going to dominate which season it's going to be among
So
the
is
list
there
of
any-
planets.
Is there any planet in the first house? No. So we can't decide on that
Yeah.
basis.
Now,
Next step.
point is, what we've done so far is we've divided everything as follows, First, we divided the year into 2 parts, so we used the hora. Now we're dividing that half year into 3 parts of 3 seasons each.
Yeah. Now you see. Try to understand it like this. From Capricorn to Gemini, how many seasons are there? There are 3 seasons, right? So I have a Lagna and I want to find out which season that thing is in. What will I do? Will I divide it into 3 parts? Simple. That's right. We take the Dreshkana. So which Dreshkana is this in?
Third.
Third. So you think it will be in the 3rd season? No?
No.
No. Don't jump like that. Make the Dreshkana and find out. Let's make the Dreshkana and see. Come on, make the Dreshkana. Right. The Lagna rising in the Dreshkana will tell me what is the season. So what is the season over there?
Venus.
What is that?
Spring.
Spring season. You think spring is right?
We know it's not right, but
Why is it not right?
we have his natal chart.
Right. We made a mistake somewhere. What is the mistake we made?
We don't take the Lagna, we take the planets in the first house.
No, we take the planets in the first house in the Dreshkana Lagna. No. We have not made any mistake, but we have made a mistake in taking the Ayana itself.
Hmm.
And what is the mistake you made? Shall we go back?
Okay.
See, now your sleep is broken. Tell me. What hora did we get?
We got Moon's hora.
What does that indicate?
Northern.
No, the reverse.
Acha, that's right. All right.
I knew you'll make a mistake.
Sorry?
No, the course is
You'll
always
see that
the
soon.
reverse
You'll
of
see
the
that
hora.
soon.
If the hora is that of the moon, then you take the ayana as that of the sun. If the hora is that of the sun, then the ayana will be that of the moon. They're
That's right.
reverse.
That's right.
I knew you'll make a mistake. Okay?
Sanjay, is it for all the cases? Like
Oh yes, for all cases, not only this Prashna. It's a rule. In Prashna chart for birth, if you're making a Prashna chart for birth time, if the hora, for example, is Aquarius a day sign or a night sign? This you have to tell me.
Day sign.
It's a day sign. So that means the birth will be in the night. The reverse. He was born in the night. Okay? Okay? Don't forget this principle. Good. I feel good when I catch a small mistake from Vishnu. I feel so good. My day is made. So, okay. So, this is the second hora of Aquarius, which is ruled by the moon. So, the course has to be the southern course, which is ruled by the sun, the opposite. And the southern course is from Leo to, from Cancer to
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. Now, let's go to the season. There are no planets in the first house, right? So we take the Dreshkana. And the Dreshkana, when we took the Dreshkana, was Libra. Forget the planets. We have to see the planets in the Rashi chart. You have to see the planets in the Rashi chart in the first house. If there are none, then we take the Lord of the Dreshkana Lagna. Will you make a note of that? Or how do you find out the season? The season is seen from the strongest planet in Lagna. The season is seen from the strongest planet in Lagna, in the Rashi. If none, then the Lord of the Dreshkana Lagna. Here the Lord of the Dreshkana Lagna was Venus. Now Venus rules which season? Spring, when the flowers bloom, right? Right, that's Pisces and Aries. Now how are we going to fit Pisces and Aries in the southern course?
There's a exchange.
No, I didn't ask you.
Okay.
They have to tell me that. No, tell me the principle. Come on, think what it could be.
You take the other sign that Venus rules?
No. Venus rules the water principle. The moon also rules the water principle. So if we are getting the season in the northern course, but we know that the course is the southern course, then change the season. Moon and Venus have an exchange. Please make a note of this. Moon and Venus exchange. Okay. What else? What is the second exchange?
Second exchange is between Jupiter and Saturn seasons.
Jupiter and Saturn exchange.
And of course, we only have the last.
And Mercury and Mars exchange. If there is a mismatch between the course, ayana, and the season. So there is a mismatch over here, right? So based upon this mismatch, Venus is coming as the lord of the season, and we have to change it to the seasons owned by the moon. Which are the seasons that are owned by the moon? Cancer and Leo, the rainy season. So the sun has to be in Cancer or it has to be in Leo. The sun has to be in Cancer or it has to be in Leo. So now we have arrived at that position where the sun has to be in Cancer or Leo. How to find out which of these two signs? For that we look at the degrees of the Lagna. Now this Dreshkana, the third Dreshkana starts from 20 degrees and ends at 30 degrees. Right? The season we took was from the Dreshkana. And the Dreshkana starts at 20 degrees and ends at 30 degrees. So the first half of the Dreshkana will indicate the first sign. The second half of the Dreshkana will indicate the second sign. There are two signs in that Dreshkana.
This is just barely in the second sign.
But it has gone into the second sign. That you will agree. So instead of the first 5 degrees, it is in the second 5 degrees. So it should be in Leo, not in Cancer. So we have now been able to fix the sun in Leo. Can we see the chart? We have the sun in Leo. Got it? Good. Now, next step. So we have got Jupiter's position, right? We have got the Lagna, we know has to be one of those. Next step.
Tithi.
Tithi. Now, having found out the month in which he is to be born, the next is what is the date? He has to be born in a certain day. And that is very simple. Very, very simple. It's the simplest of things. Go on.
Well, there are actually two methods.
Tell one method.
Okay.
Don't confuse. Let them learn one method this time. Next time. Take the degrees of the sun. The degrees of the sun will indicate the tithi. So, can we see the Prashna degrees?
Mm-hmm.